Cody Rhodes is now the biggest babyface in two companies. It's time for the Headlock Headlines. Hello, I'm Marvin, and I'm the Movie Monster. Welcome to Episode 5 of the Headlock Headlines here on Tooney Wrestling. Now, before we dive into our first story of the week, I wanted to take a moment to acknowledge you guys for a second. Tooney Wrestling is 2 months old this week, and in that time, the growth we've seen has been incredible. In just 2 months, we've received nearly 1,800 subscribers and accumulated more than 2,800 watch hours. Honestly, when I started this channel, I never thought it would be able to grow this fast, but once we're able to fully monetize the platform, I'll be able to dedicate a lot more time and energy into future videos with more song parodies and upcoming feature segments on topics like over and underrated wrestlers, forgotten WrestleMania main events, and more. So be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Click the little bell icon to get notified of new videos as they drop. And before we get into the news, I just want to put up a little graphic to show my appreciation and express my deepest thanks to those responsible for the success of this channel. Wait, what the hell?
TK, Tooney Khan, wrestling savior, and he's the bomb. Yeah, he's TK. Tooney Khan is giving wrestlers hugs, and he might be on drugs. Yeah, he's TK.
Oh my goodness, what a huge shock. Thank you so much.
Tooney, what the hell is this? I'm trying to thank the viewers, the audience that's being so supportive.
You're welcome, everyone.
Did you create a graphic thanking yourself for the success of this show?
What? No, I didn't. This was a special surprise from the crew here at Tooney Wrestling, and it is very much appreciated.
The crew at Tooney Wrestling is me.
And I appreciate your acknowledgement.
I didn't acknowledge you. I was trying to thank the audience. You created this graphic to thank yourself. What the hell is that? Oh, come on!
You better back down now, or I'll sick my obsessive, sycophantic, neck-bearded loser fan base of anime profile pics on you. You'll be told to touch grass more than a lazy landscaper.
Right. Everything you say is the truth, everything you do is right, and every decision you make is with the most virtuous of intentions.
Exactly!
Well, speaking of questionable decisions, this past week on Dynamite, you booked a Texas death match between Orange Cassidy and, hold on, I don't remember the guy's name. Matt Taven, whoever the hell that is.
I sure did, and it got some justified "this is awesome" chants.
Yeah, it also got some justified criticism from all corners of the wrestling world.
What? Why?
Because you booked a Texas death match with no build between two guys who weren't even involved with one another. There was no story.
No story? We were in Texas.
That's not a story.
Of course it is. When you're in Texas, you have to do a Texas death match. Look, I don't make the rules.
Yes, you do. You literally do. There was no story, no build, just a random Texas death match between a guy that nobody knows and a goof that most wish they didn't know.
I think you're burying the big story here, monster. My ratings went up this week, showing the great success of my booking.
Oh, so ratings matter now.
Yeah, this week they do.
Yes, the rating did go up. The February 7th Dynamite received a rating of 805,000 people, and the February 14th episode got 811,000 people.
Big welcome to my 6,000 new fans.
And you guys scored big throughout all cable that night, didn't you?
We did, and thank you for pointing it out. Yes, every other cable show that night saw a dip because viewers were out with their significant others for Valentine's Day. But my ratings stayed steady and strong.
Yeah, they sure did.
I think that speaks volumes about my audience.
Yeah, it sure does.
What's so funny?
Nothing at all. Let's move on. Darby Allin caused a bit of a stir this week when he brought up Cody Rhodes in a promo on Dynamite, causing the entire crowd to chant Cody, Cody, Cody.
Oh, that's ridiculous. They weren't chanting for Cody. That never happened.
We all heard it. Or at least 811,000 people did.
Yeah, well, you heard wrong. They were chanting Obi, 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 in the hopes that there'll be a season 2 of the Obi-Wan Kenobi series on Disney+.
Nobody wants that.
You're just bitter because both me and Kathleen Kennedy are working at the very peak of our creative potential.
Well, I don't disagree there.
Thank you. Hey!
Not only is Cody Rhodes the biggest babyface in 2 companies now, but the entire wrestling world is talking about The Rock's heel turn. The Rock turned back the clock to the late 90s Friday night on SmackDown, delivering a heel promo that evoked a lot of nostalgic feelings. As one of the biggest stars in the world, The Rock has been bringing in a lot of attention to WWE leading into WrestleMania.
Biggest stars in the what? But that's ridiculous.
The Rock is a huge Hollywood star. Whether you like his movies or not, and I typically don't, you have to admit that he has mainstream appeal.
You know what? I'm not even going to engage you on this one. I have people who do that for me.
Oh no, you don't mean...
That's right. Backed by popular demand, the one and only voice of truth, justice, and the Tooney Khan way, the Wrestling Observer's Dave Meltzer!
God help me.
1, 2, 3, let's go, bitch.
Hello, Dave. What the hell is all that behind you?
Oh, that's all my swag for the biggest star in the world, way bigger than Dwayne, my friend Dwayne, Taylor Swift.
Oh, right. You went on this big, weird, unhinged rant this week about how The Rock isn't as big of a star as Taylor Swift.
He's not. Taylor Swift is the biggest star ever. She's a full 13 stars. The voice of, like, my generation. Us young, hip people know what's what.
Wait, you're a Swiftie? You?
It must be exhausting to always be rooting for the anti-hero, Marvin.
What? If that's a reference to something, I don't get it.
You're, so out of touch.
So you rant about The Rock.
Dwayne.
The Rock! It wasn't because you're trying to downplay his impact on the WWE's momentum?
Of course not. I'm, journalist and, more in touch with, what us young, spry, youthful kids like today.
So it had nothing to do with you trying to bury the WWE and lift up AEW.
How dare you? I'm not biased. I'm just, telling the truth. Everything that AEW and my girl Taylor are doing is fresh, and it's, new. The shape of your body, it's blue, the feeling I've got, and it's a cruel, summer.
All right, I need to move on before I have an aneurysm. Dave, I'm glad you're here, actually.
Well, that's not something I hear very often.
I know, but recently you talked about another big story in wrestling that we didn't get to last week. Over in TNA, Anthem, the parent company, has fired Scott D'Amore from his position as head of the company.
Yes, and my sources in TNA, have, said that he was fired for reasons.
Uh-huh. Well, you then reported that Tommy Dreamer was replacing him as head of creative, but then giant douche Sean Ross Sapp and Tommy Dreamer himself refuted this.
Plans change.
Dreamer then went on to...
I now know for a fact that the new head of TNA Creative is Mike Today.
No, that's not right.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
It's Dutch Mantel.
Wrong again.
Jimmy Hart.
Swing and a miss.
Buddy Ebsen.
What? Buddy Ebsen was Jed Clampett on Beverly Hillbillies, and he's dead.
No, he's not.
Look, moron, you don't have to guess. Tommy Dreamer confirmed that the TNA Creative Team is him, Robert Evans, and Delirious.
Delirious, right, exactly. Another win for me.
Great job, Dave.
Thanks, Tooney.
Aw.
You also reported in The Observer that WWE filmed a backstage vignette between Triple H and The Rock that was cut from SmackDown. In the segment, the two got into each other's faces and teased a match between them for WrestleMania. But in reality, that vignette was filmed and aired on TV 10 years ago.
I mean,
Then you just deleted it from The Observer when it was pointed out and didn't bring it up again until the universe started dunking on you.
I mean, I made a mistake. What do you want me to, say?
I don't want you to say anything. You say entirely too much and your credibility is non-existent.
Well, you'll change your tune when you hear my next big exclusive report.
Oh, what's that?
WWE actually filmed the promo this week in front of the live crowd that they ended up cutting, where Andre the Giant ripped the crucifix off Hulk Hogan's chest. Clearly they were trying to build something at WrestleMania celebrating 40 years of Hulkamania, but then changed their mind because of all the, racism.
Dave, this is a segment from 1987. It has Andre the Giant, Roddy Piper, and Bobby Heenan in it, and all of them are dead.
No?
Jesus.
Look, I have it on good authority that Paul, my friend Paul, who I call Paul because we're friends, he got a lot of plans for WrestleMania this year.
Just say Triple H.
Paul.
Triple H, Triple H, Triple H! Holy crap!
No!
Yes! Triple H? What are you doing here? I've arrived for one reason and one reason alone, monster jobber. I'm tired of hearing you focus on secondary promotions. Since the late 90s, there's only been one thing worth talking about in sports entertainment. Oh, what, you mean the WWE? No! Da-na-na, da-na-na, me. Well, you can't just barge in here like you own the place. I don't care who you are not entitled to be involved in every conversation about the wrestling business. I am the wrestling business.
Look, Mr. Helms.
Silence! Hold on. As much as I might not like it, Tooney Khan is a part of this show. And now so am I. Wait, what? That's right. I had TKO purchase a controlling interest in this channel. Wait, seriously? Again? How the hell does this keep happening? And that means you've graduated to the big time. Welcome to the main event.
Look, Paul,
It burns!
Wait, did you just snap away Dave? I mean, I'm not complaining, but... Much as I did with Nick Houseman in my big press event in Vegas, I've denied access to the dirt sheets. Well, since you're here and all, I guess we can just keep going with this story. Meltzer's false report about you having a match with The Rock at WrestleMania have gotten a lot of people buzzing about the possibility of seeing that match happen. Is there any potential that you might step into the ring again? Look, I'd love nothing more than to epitome my way back to the top, leaving a score of bodies and broken careers in my wake as I retake my rightful place in the main event. Unfortunately, I can't do that because of my robot heart. You mean your pacemaker? My robot heart! All right, so there's no chance you'll ever wrestle again. Oh, I've been preparing for this eventuality for years. You see, a normal human body can't contain the power of my overness. As my quads began to tear like tissue paper at the slightest movement, I knew that my body was starting to break down. So I devised a plan in my secret laboratory deep beneath Titan Tower. Your what?
Wait, you have a secret laboratory?
Do you not?
Yeah, I've got like 12 of them.
In the bowels of that building, I set about to create the ultimate vessel, a being strong enough to contain the power of my superstar essence for eternity. I combined Helmsley and McMahon DNA together until a soulless golem began to take form. What is happening right now? But I miscalculated. I added too much Irish McMahon DNA, and something terrible happened. Oh my god, it's Ginger!
Hey Hunter, it's me, JR. I was looking at the rundown sheet for Raw, and I was hoping you could talk to the old man about it, because it really sucks. And oh my god! What the hell is that?
I name you Sheamus because you shame us! What? So yeah, I won't be wrestling at WrestleMania. What?
I'm not looking so bad now, am I?
But we're not talking about shame us right now. We're talking about WrestleMania and the roller coaster of emotions that I'm taking you on. Oh, you mean the plan that you set in motion that got dumped on by the universe, causing you to go, oh crap, and switch gears entirely? Ha! Do you really think that an organization as powerful as the WWE could ever be influenced by mere mortals of the internet for something as big as WrestleMania? WrestleMania 30. Oh, well... WrestleMania 35. That's different. How is it different? Because your mom's fat. Nailed it. Wow. Look, let's not focus on what ifs and dirt sheet reports. We're living through history right now. The We Want Cody versus We Want Rocky movement was the most controversial week in the history of the WWE. Really? The most controversial week ever in the WWE's history. You don't think anything else that happened recently might be a bit more controversial? I don't know what you're referring to. Well, I don't know. How about the allegations against the founder of the company and former CEO? What was that? I didn't quite catch that. What the hell? What just happened? A beeping sound came out of my mouth when I tried to say... I'm not sure what you're driving at. The rape allegations against... How are you doing this? Doing what?
Wait, are you trying to talk about... Oh god, what's happening?
Why can't we say... Sorry guys, I have no idea what you're talking about. Are you censoring reality every time someone tries to mention... What the fuck? Really? I could say fuck, but I can't say... Maybe we should just move on to another subject since you seem to be having some issues.
Alright, that's it. I have had it. You think you could just come in here and throw your weight around talking about human cloning, essence transference, and censoring reality, but there's only room on this show for one out-of-touch wrestling booker, and I was here first. So, finders, keepers, losers, weepers. You're in my house now, bitch!
Deploy the asset.
What are you doing? Oh, hold on one second. Coming! Who's there? Braun Strowman?
Braun Smash!
Oh my god!
Hunter, did you send Braun Strowman to Tooney's studio? Hey, I gotta use him for something, right? I think you and I might just get along. Let the game begin. Hey, you wanna do a song parody next week? Oh, yeah, sure. Triple H, everyone. All right, that does it for another episode of the Headlock Headlines. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Click the bell icon, all that stuff. We got a new song parody coming at you, some new feature topics, and of course, more headlines. This channel is driven by you guys and your feedback, so keep the reviews both positive and constructive coming. They help me know what you want to see. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate you. I looked up Taylor Swift songs for you all this week and confused the hell out of my Spotify algorithm. So, for Tooney Khan, Dave Schmeltzer, and Trip, I'm Marvin the Movie Monster. Now get out of here! This channel is starting to get some attention. You know what that means. Time for me to get involved. Ralphus, start the countdown.